This conference will now be recorded.
So function is nothing but it is a block of code which is used to perform a specific task. So generally why we use of this function means because let me get show you a small scenario of the use of function. So I'm just opening the code blocks. I think my screen is visible to all of you. There is no problem. So it is getting started. So actually, so let us see the scenario where the functions are very much useful. I'm going to create a new file. So please, those who are using, those who are viewing this section in mobiles, please place your mobiles in landscape mode. So let us see the scenario. Here I am going to print Vishnu. Then after, so here I am going to print hello Vishnu. Thereafter, so see next thereafter Raja, Rani. So in this code here we are going to observe that printf hello has been repeated 4 times. But in between printf hello, there are some printf statements which are different from others. Let us take at line number 5. So it is Vishnu. At line number 7, it is Vamsi. At line number 9, it is Raja. At line number 11, it is Rani. These these four statements are different, whereas this printf hello statement is same in all the places of the code. So can we use any for loop in order to print? Because where we use loops means whenever we appear, whenever we have encountered any recursive code, means any repeated code, then we need to use a loop. So here we got a repeated code like printf hello. So can we use a loop here? Please, can you please comment me that whether we can use a loop or not here? Can anyone comment? Can we use loop in order to write the same program? Or if you are if there is any problem in commenting, you can unmute and just say yes or no. Later you can mute. So okay, so I have got a replies like no, no, no. So okay, why I got a replies like no. So why? Because here we can't place this hello statement in a for loop. Why? Because let me show you another code. Here I am going to use a for loop. I think you are all familiar with for loop. I'm just printing hello in a for loop, as well as printf Vishnu, printf Vamsi, printf Raja, printf Rani. So let's see the difference between the two codes. So what will be the output of the first code? Can you please comment? Can anyone comment me? What will be the output of the first code? So here I am just placing new line character in every printf statement. So what is the output? Can you just comment me? So the output will be hello Vishnu, hello Vamsi, hello Raja, hello Rani. Let's see the output. So I have got a reply. Hello Vishnu, hello Vamsi, hello Raja, hello. So it is wrong. So I'm just saving the file. Okay. So I got another reply. Hello Vishnu, hello Vamsi, hello Raja, hello Rani. Okay. So let's see the output. Here is the output. So hello Vishnu, hello Vamsi, hello Raja, hello Rani. So this is the output of first code. So let's see the output of second code. Let's get compile the second code. So I need to save it as hello2.c. So I'm just compiling it. So what will be the output? Can anyone just comment me? So here the first of all the for loop will get started. So here I'm going to change the for loop I initialization of I to 1. So I is less than or equal to 4. Okay, Manish has replied hello, hello, hello 4 times without any space. I have not given any space there. Okay, next. So that is the basic difference between using a for loop and here the normal statements. In this scenario, we can't use a for loop. Why? Because so in between the repeated statement, there is a separate code. Different code is there. In this type of scenarios, we can't use the for loop. So here we can use what we can use here is here the problem is the repeated code is there. This is called as redundancy problem in any programming language. So the code be must not be redundant in any programming language. So in order to make the code efficient and make the code less lines of code, we need to use function. So here, how can you make this code efficient means by using the function. So let us take a function in place of this hello. So let us create a function. So you are not aware of functions, I think somebody aware of functions. So but let's just I'm just starting about function. Later I will discuss in detail. So I'm just replacing that printf statement here. Printf hello is replaced and I'm going to call that statement from here. Hello. I'm just replacing that statement. I'm just calling the function hello. Okay. So in C, before any definition of a function, we need to declare that function. Here I am going to declare that function which I have defined. So I have used hello function. So I'm going to declare. We can discuss everything about each and every part in the later part of the section. So just I'm just make you understand what is the prominent usage of functions. So this is the code. Here I just replaced the printf statement with the function calling statement. So let us save this one. So here semicolon is missing. So no compile time errors. So let us see the output. So hello Vishnu, hello Vamsi, hello Raja, hello Rani. So this is the output. So if I want new line character, I just, if I want any change. So previously, if I want any change means if I need to get in new line character, hello new line Vishnu, hello new line Vamsi, hello new line Raja, hello new line Rani, I need to place backslash n everywhere, wherever the hello statement is there, printf hello statement is there, there I need to keep backslash n. So but when using functions, modification will becomes easier. So here I'm going to show you that I just place backslash n at one statement, at one printf statement. So let's see the output, how it is modified. So this is how we can modify. So we can easily modify the modification of the code will become easier. Means maintenance of the code is become easier by using functions. So these are the main use of functions. So what is the main use is we can reduce the code, means reduce the number of lines of code, as well as we can uh, means a reduction of the lines of code means we can reduce the code redundancy problem, as well as modification is easier, means maintenance of the code later at certain part of time, later if you want to change your code, it is very much easier to change your code while using functions rather than writing the code as it is. So this is the introduction to the functions. So we just note down the definition of the function. So a function is a block of code which is used to perform a specific task. So next, functions are mainly categorized into two types. They are number one, number one. So it is user defined functions. And number two, predefined functions. So functions are mainly divided into two types. Number one, it is user defined function, and number two, it is a predefined function. So what is mean by a predefined? Let us talk about predefined functions first. What is mean by predefined function means it is already defined. So here in our example, we have defined the hello function here. So who defined hello function means it is me, that who defined hello function. So here I am the user of the C language. So it is defined by me, hence it is called as user defined function. So but what about printf function? So let's talk about printf function. It has already defined in the C language libraries. So it has been predefined by the C compiler. It has obtained from the C compiler. So hence it is called as a predefined function. So the functions that are obtained or obtained already defined in the compiler or pre-obtained in the compiler is called as predefined functions. The functions that are defined by the user are called as user defined functions. So mainly in functions, we need to know. So while using functions, we must be familiar about the functions. Uh, we must be familiar about the functions. What about this? This is called as the functions terminology. Functions terminology. We need to be aware of functions terminology. Why? Because so here it is called as a function definition. It is called as function calling statement. Here it is called as a function declaration. So it is called as a return type. It is called as a function name. So there are so many things in functions we need to know them before learning the functions. So hence it is very much useful for us to know about functions terminology before going to learn about functions. So so first in the functions terminology, let us learn about function declaration. So what is meant by function declaration? First of all, so here in my code, this statement is called as a function declaration. So what is the use of function declaration? Or it is also called as, or it is also called as function prototype. So function declaration or function prototype. So what is the use of it? So let's learn. So the function prototype will always use to specify to the compiler about a function. Means, so here we are going to tell about a function. So let us see here. I have declared it as void. I have declared the hello function here as void type, and here I'm changing the type of the return type of hello function to int. So what you can observe is here the conflicting types for an error has occurred. That is, here the return type of hello is void, means void function will never return any value, whereas non-void functions will return a value of the return type. So here the return type is int. So there is a conflicting between the function declaration and the function definition. So these two are not matching. So function declarations are generally used to say the compiler that later the user may define the definition for the declared function and in the later part of the program, but he may define the function in the same file or in the other files also. So while defining that the same function which has declared, the compiler need to check whether he has declared whether he has defined the function as it is he has declared in the another file. So I'm just in order to make you understand this very neatly, I'm just saying in Telugu. So here, so void hello is the declaration part. It is the definition part. సో డిక్లరేషన్ లో మనం వాయిడ్ హలో అని ఇస్తున్నాము, కింద ఇంట్ హలో అని ఇస్తున్నాము. సో ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే ఇక్కడ రిటర్న్ టైప్ అనేది మనం ఆల్రెడీ డిక్లేర్ చేస్తున్నాం, ఇలా ఉంటుంది ఫంక్షన్ అని చెప్పేసి. సో లేటర్ మనం ఎక్కడో డిఫైన్ చేయొచ్చు. సో కరెక్ట్ గా మెయిన్ కింద డిఫైన్ చేయాల్సిన రూల్ ఏం లేదు, ఎక్కడైనా డిఫైన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. పార్ట్స్ సేమ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో అన్నా డిఫైన్ చేయొచ్చు, లేదా అనదర్ ఫైల్ తీసుకొని కొత్త ఫైల్ తీసుకొని దాంట్లో అన్నా డిఫైన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఆ డెఫినేషన్స్ అనేది. సో అలా డిఫైన్ చేసినప్పుడు కంపైలర్ అనేది మనం కంపైల్ చేసినప్పుడు చెక్ చేస్తుంది. డిక్లేర్ చేసినప్పుడు ఉన్న రిటర్న్ టైపు, ఫంక్షన్ నేము, దానికి ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్ టైపు, ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్ ఆర్డరు, అలాగే డిఫైన్ చేసినప్పుడు కూడా సేమ్ ఉన్నాయా లేదా అనేది చెక్ చేస్తున్నాయి. సో అలా లేకపోతే మనకి ఒక ఎర్రర్ రూపంలో మనకి ఇంటిమేట్ చేస్తుంది. అంటే నువ్వు ఇంతకుముందు అనుకున్న డిక్లరేషన్ డెఫినేషన్ మ్యాచ్ అవ్వట్లేదు, సో దేర్ ఈస్ ఏ ప్రాబ్లమ్ బిట్వీన్ డిక్లరేషన్ అండ్ డెఫినేషన్ అని చెప్పి మనకి ఒక మెసేజ్ రూపంలో ఇవ్వడానికి సో డిక్లరేషన్స్, ఫంక్షన్ డిక్లరేషన్స్ అనేవి మనం యూజ్ చేస్తాం. సో ఫంక్షన్ డిక్లరేషన్స్ ఆర్ మెయిన్లీ యూస్డ్ to specify about your function the following parts. Number one, it will specify the type of the number one, it will specify the name of the function. So here I am going to show you the function declaration. So it is the function declaration. Here the function declaration or function prototype will specify the name of the function, the type of the value that is going to be returned by a function, the number of arguments to be sent to that function, and the order of arguments need to be sent to that function. So these are the main points that is going to be specified by the function declaration to the compiler. So what is meant by function declaration? Function declaration is nothing but it is used to specify specify number one, name of the function, number two, type of the value, returned by the function, number three, number of arguments need to pass to the function, number four, order of arguments to be sent so these are the details that are going to be specified by the function declaration to the compiler if you declare any function. Next. So you can just screenshot In order to take the notes, you can just screenshot this one. If anyone want notes, you can just screenshot your phones on your phone. Okay, so let's talk about another terminology, another one. So let's talk about next thing in that functions terminology, that is called as a function definition. It is called as function definition. So what is meant by function definition? So let me show you in our code where we have defined the function. So it is called as a function definition. The function which has a body is called as the function definition. Means here we are going to use hello function. We just call the hello function without any further using statements. I'm just using the hello statement. It is called as function calling statement. Hello off. It's called as function calling statement. Simply by using this single statement, we can execute the statement that are present in hello statement. So these are the statement. Here in the hello function, I have just used a single statement hello. But in our further sections, we can see a function may consist of set of statements. A function is a block of code, means it is a block where a set of statements will be present. So whenever in our code we can observe a set of statements are going to be repeated, we need to use we need to take those repeated statements and then they are kept in a block, and to that block we need to name we need to keep a name to that block. So it is nothing but the definition of a function. So the definition of the function must be matched with the declaration of the function. So actually where the declarations and definitions are used means declarations will be provided by a team manager, whereas definitions will be provided by a teammate. So your team leader will give you the declaration of the function. So he just provides the prototype of the function need to be developed. So he just give you the name of the function, the type of the values that are going to be sent to the function, the order of the values to be sent to the function, the return type of that function. So your part as a teammate, your role is to develop the definition for that function. Means nothing but you need to develop the logic for that function. So whenever you call that function, what need to be executed is need to place in the block. So it is nothing but the function definition. So finally, so what is mean by function definition means it is nothing but the actual logic. Uh, the actual logic of the function will always lies in the function definition. The actual logic the actual logic of the function will always lies in the function definition. Function definition. So function prototype will always terminated with a semicolon. So here we can see in our code, it is terminated with a semicolon. Function prototype or function declaration must be terminated with a semicolon, whereas function definition will have the block of code. A function which have a body is called as function definition. So a function which is having body is called as function definition. So let's see the syntaxes of the function prototype and function definition here. First of all, syntax for function prototype. So return type space function name in brackets arguments type or arguments declaration. Semicolon. So this is the syntax of declaring any function. So let us declare a function. Let us declare a function add. In order to perform, let us discuss about the function add. So here we need to create a function named add. It need to take two arguments of type integer, and it need to return an integer value which will be equal to the sum of the two inputted values. So for that function we need to declare the write the declaration of the add function. So here the add function return type is an integer value, so I'm going to return an integer value. The name of the function is add. So the arguments, the values that are need to be passed as inputs to the values are called as arguments of a function, so that need to be of integer type. So two integers. So two integer values need to be provided to the add function in order to make the addition operation on those two arguments. And later we need to return the sum of those two values as the return type. So this is the declaration of the function or function prototype. So this is called as a syntax of a function, and below is called as an example. It is the example for that one. Next, function definition syntax. So if you have any problem in attending the meeting, you just comment me. If you are facing any problems during this function, so if you have any audio problems or any viewing problems, video glitch problems, you can just comment me in the comment box. Sorry, you can just comment me in the chat box. So after the function definition is over, I will give you 10 minutes of time. You can just ask me doubts if you have any doubts regarding this following section. Same as it is, return type space function name arguments declaration. Statements or body you need to end that function like this. This is the syntax for function definition. So now let us write the function definition of a add function. Same as it is in the declaration part as you have specified. So here we need to arguments need to be declared, not to be just in place of function prototype or function declaration. We can either provide arguments type or arguments declaration if possible, but in place of definition we need to declare the arguments. Here I am going to declare the arguments like this: int p, sorry, int a comma int b. We need to declare the arguments like this. So declaration of arguments is same as declaration of a variable in C language. So next later, so what we need to do is I'm going to declare another variable into C. So here C equal to A plus B, because add function need to perform addition of the two inputted values. Later that value is stored in C, and now I need to return that value So the main job of my add function is to return the sum of two inputted values. So this is how my function definition add function is defined. You can make a screenshot or you can make a note of it. So now here comes the doubt section. So anyone having doubts, you can just unmute and ask me. I'm waiting for you. So it is for about 10 minutes. Anyone have doubts in the following, you can just unmute and ask me. I'm ready to answer you. So anyone have doubts? So you can reply me in the chat box. If you have doubt, please raise your doubts, or else please say no. So I just need your attendance. So please provide your roll number in the chat box. So in the meanwhile, I can answer your doubts. So while sending, please send only to the organizer or the presenter. Don't send to everyone. So while sending the attendance, we can send only to me, to the organizer. While sending any doubt, you can send to everyone. Please provide, Geetika, please provide your roll number. So no doubts are there. So you can give me the feedback of this section in the chat box itself. So if you want any improvement in the sections, in the audio or in the video, you can just give me a feedback so that we can improve in the later sections. So this section has been over for the basic batch. So this section is mainly concentrated for the Python batch or coding batch. So the basic batch can just revise this, can listen to this section for the revision purpose. So for the main purpose is coding batch has not listened the functions topic. It is the main topic in the C language where we can get many more questions in the interview room. So without functions, there is no C language, because the entire C language has been built on the functions. So I haven't received any feedback from your side. Okay, let's discuss the later topic. I'm just saving the notes still now. So just note down the uses of arrays. Oh no, we are in the middle of functions terminology, right? So just take from there. So next one, third point is function calling state. So let us see what will be happened if I will not use the function calling statement here in our example. In our example, we have, so declaration part is there, the definition part is there, but there is no function calling statement. So I'm going to compile it. So it just compiled fine. There are no errors and no warnings. There are no errors and no warnings. So again, I'm going to run this one. See the output. There is no hello. So even I have defined a function, I have declared a function in my program. If I have not called that function, there is no use of defining it. Okay, have you understand? So wherever I have called that function, so here I am going to call hello. Wherever I call the function, there the function will get executed. So here before the Vishnu statement, I just call that hello function. There it has executed hello. So let us see how it get executed. So first of all, I need to use drawing tool. So functions are mainly executed based on stack. Functions are mainly executed based on the stack. So what is the first function that get executed in the C language? Can anyone just comment me? The first function that get executed in C language is main function. Main function. In the main function, the first ever statement is the hello state. It is called as a function calling statement. What happens whenever a function calling statement has encountered? What happens means here in main function we just encountered a function calling statement hello. It is called as function calling statement. Whenever the function calling statement has encountered, the control has been given or transferred from the calling function to the called function. Here we need to know two basic things. What is meant by a calling function and what is meant by a called function. The function whichever calls another function is called as a calling function. The function which is called by another function for its execution is called as called function. So here in our example, main function is calling hello, hence main function is called as calling function. So here main function is called as main function is called as so spotlight. So what is called calling function. So main function is calling hello. Hello is called by main function. So hello is called as called function. So for time being, I'm just writing a few and fun, which means function. So the function which is calling another function for its execution, another function is called as calling function. The function which is called by another function for its execution is called as called function. Here main function is calling hello, hence main is called as calling function and hello is called as called function. So uh, whenever in the program the function calling statement is get encountered, the control will transfer from calling function to call function like this. The control is transferred from calling function to call function. Then the called function execution will start like this. Means the control is now transferred to hello function definition. Now the hello function definition get executed. Here the hello function is there. Hello function is get executed. So in the inside the hello function there is only single statements. So there is no rule that the function must contain only single statements. The function can have any number of statements. Those statements need to be get executed. Here in our program there is only one single statement. So it is printf hello statement. Thereafter there is end brace. Whenever in a function, if a function if the call function inside the call function execution, whenever there is a chance of encountering of any end brace or any return statement, there the function execution gets stopped, and then the control is transferred again to the calling function from called function. So this is how the functions will get executed. Is there any doubt in this? Please make a note of this, how the functions are get executed. We need to note everything. I'm just giving you 2 minutes of time in order to note. So please make a note, whenever the function calling statement is get encountered, the control is transferred from calling function to the called function. Then after the called function get executed, call function get executed. Inside the call function, whenever there is a chance of encountering of any return statement or any end brace, then the control is again transferred from called function to the calling function. So this is how the functions get executed. So here what will be the output is hello is printed in the console. Then after the printf statement Vishnu, Vamsi, Raja, Rani. So whenever I'm going to place the calling function calling statement in any part of the calling function, the function is called like this only. The execution will just occur like this only. So you just need to note under one more thing. What is, so whenever the control is transferred from call function to the calling function, the stack frame will also get destroyed. So here the only main function stack frame is there. Thereafter, so printf Vishnu, we'll get the output Vishnu, we'll get the output Vamsi, we will get the output Raja, we will get the output Rani. So thereafter again in this also, in this main function also, we are having the end brace. Whenever the end brace is reached, the control is transferred from call function to the calling function. Main is main is called by the operating system itself. So hence the main also get terminated. So here the stack get empty. So after everything, after the stack get empty, the program execution is over. So this is how the functions get executed. So here how the main function is called is, main function is called by the internal program in the operating system or in the compiler. So why the main function must have the lowercase means, inside the operating system or inside the compiler logic, wherever we have called So the name which has been used for calling is like this only. So let us check whether it is fine or not. I'm going to wipe out everything. So let's check it. Here I'm going to change this hello to capital hello. Let's see what happens. So undefined reference to hello. So here hello has been declared, hello has been called, but there is no definition of hello. If there is no definition of hello, we'll get an error like this, undefined reference to hello. So this is what happens when you place capital MAIN in place of main. So this is what undefined reference to win main, because inside the compiler, whatever the calling statement they have used is small MAIN. So hence the C program execution starts like this. I think everyone is aware of this. This is the basic points we need to know in the functions. Function calling statement. So here, if you want to execute the logic of the function, we need to use the function calling statement. So syntax for using function calling statement. There is no syntax, just function name, arguments. That's it. Number 4. So in the add function, in the example, we are going whatever we are discussing till now, the example. How can we call add function means add of 10 comma 20. Like this we can call. So this will return a value that can be stored inside any other variable like this, or like p equal to. Next, arguments. What are called as arguments? The values that are passed as input values to the function calling statement are called as actual arguments. The arguments that are declared in function definition are called as Formal arguments are mainly classified into two types. So arguments are mainly classified into two types. Number one, it is actual arguments. Number two, formal arguments. So we can continue the section in tomorrow from this. So I'm just saving here. So we can just so if you till now if you have any doubt, please ask me. I will just show you the last program of our section. It is what we have discussed till now. I will wind up the section by this program hash include stdio.h void main. So I'm going to write a program to add two numbers by using a function. So in order to define a function, I need to first of all declare that function like this. So my function add is of type it is going to return a value and it is accepting two integer values as input. So my declaration is like this. Later here I am going to use int a comma b. So I'm just scanning the values from the console. Scanf double quotes %t and %t comma ampersand a comma ampersand b. Next, add of a comma b semicolon. This is the function calling statement, and whichever the function returns, I need to store that value in p. So hence I need to declare that p also here only. The sum of %t and %d is %t comma a comma b comma p. So you have already know that by using only declaration and function calling statement, it is not possible to execute a program. We need to provide the definition of add function. So the definition of add function you have already seen. So int add of int a comma int b. Next compress here int c semicolon c equal to a plus b. Next, if you want to return anything from the program from any function, we just need to use the keyword called return. So you can use just like this return c or in brackets
or also we can later in the later section we can know more about the return statement. We will talk about that in the next section. So this is how my program has been saved at .c. I have saved my program. I'm just going to compile it. So no errors. I'm just running it. I need to provide 56, 78. The sum of 56 and 78 is 134. Here the p-value, whatever the p-value, I have not given anywhere. Here the p-value has been returned by the function. So what happens means a, b get taken by the a value, b value is supplied 56 and 78, that is stored in a, b values. Here I am going to give here I have given AB values to the function calling statement. What happens is this A value is get stored in this variable, and this B value is get stored in this variable, and these are the inputs to the values. So these two values get added, and those are stored in C. I just return the C value. This return value, whenever the return statement or AND brace is encountered in the function, the control is again sent to the calling function. Here the calling function, so just return that value to the p. So this is how the values are printed. We will talk about this program in the later section, in the next section. So I just need your feedback of this section.
So please give me the feedback, or if you have any doubts, you can just ask me by unmuting. So I'm waiting for your responses. Please send me the feedback of this section. If you have any doubts regarding this section, you can unmute and ask me. I'm waiting for you. Another 10 more minutes. So everyone, please give me the feedback so that we'll plan the next sections. So this is the end of today's section. You can just unmute and ask me the doubts. Okay, Geetika has no doubts. You can just leave. Okay, Rashu, you can also leave. Manish, okay, you can leave. So everyone, just give me the feedback and you can leave by pressing the leave meeting. So I will try to share this section. I will try to share the recorded section of this so that anyone who had missed the section can attend the later section. Without this section, the later section is listening of later section is not possible. You can just forward. I will just forward the link in the group. So is there any glitch in the audio? You can feedback me. So if you have any doubts, please message me in the chat box, or else you can leave. So I'm going to end this section within 3 minutes. If you have any doubts, you can raise your doubt in the chat box, or else you can leave by giving the feedback.